Animals have always been nature's gift to us, adorable, loyal, and deeply connected to our lives. But what happens when science starts replacing them with cold, calculated machines? From a disturbingly lifelike dolphin with a hidden agenda to robotic sparrows and dragonflies built for more than just flight to scorpions and bioants that aren't just creepy, they're tactical. This isn't sci-fi anymore. It's real, it's advancing fast, and some of these creations might just replace your pet. Today we're diving into 15 scary robotic animals you have to see to believe. Number 15. TX-8 Spiderbot. There's something deeply unsettling about a robot that doesn't just look like a spider but moves like one too. The TX-8 doesn't walk. It crawls with intent, gliding across surfaces using 26 servo motors that coordinate like a mechanical symphony of terror. Each leg moves independently, guided by advanced motor control algorithms that calculate everything from trajectory to weight distribution. It's not pre-programmed with stiff, clunky movements. This thing thinks on the go. You can control it from a tablet, a phone, or your computer, and the interface is deceptively simple considering how much tech is pulsing under its shell. This bot isn't just for show. Whether you're studying biomechanics, testing environments, or scaring the absolute soul out of someone, the TX-8 delivers. It's not just realistic, it's unnervingly elegant. Watching it move isn't like watching a robot at all. It's like something biological, something that shouldn't exist outside of nature but somehow now does. And that's exactly what makes it so brilliant and horrifying. Number 14. Robot Millipede. If the phrase robot crawling inside your body doesn't make your skin crawl, this might, and we can guarantee it. Designed in Hong Kong, the robot millipede is tiny, soft-bodied, and built to navigate through the human body. There are no metal pincers or hard armor, just flexible legs modeled after hundreds of animal species to get the most efficient creep possible. The design is eerily perfect. A 1-to-1 leg gap ratio lets it glide over both wet and dry surfaces with shockingly low friction. It's driven by electromagnetic force, so doctors, or one day even patients, can remotely steer it through internal terrain. Instead of cutting open the body or shoving it in clunky tubes, you send in this tiny pill-sized crawler. It's not a horror movie prop, it's a game changer for drug delivery, internal exams, and even microsurgeries. And yeah, the idea of something that crawls through your veins might keep you up at night. But if it saves lives, who's complaining? Sometimes the creepiest inventions end up being the most important. Number 13. Robot Dolphin. We mean this one is less robot, more revolution. Just look at that beauty. Designed by Edge Innovations, the robotic dolphin is a hyper-realistic animatronic that swims, turns, and even breathes like the real thing. It's soft-skinned, eerily lifelike, and fully animatronic, so convincing you'd swear it was alive. But it isn't here for tricks, it's here to change an industry. With over 3,000 dolphins still kept in captivity for human entertainment, this machine was built to be a lifeline for animal welfare. Edge wants a future where theme parks ditch real animals altogether and embrace ethical, robotic alternatives. And if this dolphin is any proof, we're closer than you think. No more training, no more cages, just programmable marine magic with no trauma attached. Imagine SeaWorlds full of prehistoric marine beasts, gentle giants, and extinct reptiles, all built, not bred. This dolphin is the beginning. It's slick, silent, and absolutely game-changing. Number 12. Robot Eel. This one's built to slip through the muck where no diver dares go. The EPFL robot eel doesn't just move like a snake, it glides through polluted waters like it owns the place. Designed as part of the Nanoterra research initiative, this robotic eel is equipped with chemical sensors that detect pollution at pinpoint accuracy. It's not a camera drone or a swimmer's toy, it's a roaming lab. This machine swims beneath oil slicks, sewage trails, and chemical spills, testing water quality in real time while moving like something straight out of a dystopian ocean. There are no cables or external controllers. It runs on its own, silently, persistently, and in places most people would never dare dip a toe. It doesn't just skim the surface. It dives deep, hunts toxins, and sends back the data without skipping a pulse. And while it's built for science, it feels more like surveillance. We mean just sleek, slippery, and smart. It's not flashy. It's effective. And in a world full of environmental disasters, that makes it dangerously valuable. It's a lifesaver. Number 11. Bionic Wheelbot. Nature doesn't play fair, and neither does Festo's Bionic Wheelbot. Inspired by the flick-flack spider that lives in Moroccan deserts, this thing doesn't just crawl. It cartwheels across terrain when the going gets tough. Built for maximum adaptability, it switches between walking and rolling like it's flipping a switch. On rough ground, it walks. On flat surfaces, it launches into these gravity-defying flips that honestly look like a parkour nightmare. Every movement is calculated with pinpoint accuracy, designed to handle rugged conditions most robots wouldn't dare cross. But this isn't just for show. These new forms of mobility are being studied for real-world applications. Think planetary exploration, disaster recovery, and search and rescue missions in hostile environments. The Wheelbot can handle what traditional wheels can't and what legs struggle with. It fills the gap between crawling and cruising. Watching it move is almost hypnotic, until you remember it was built to go places no human ever could. Then it just becomes quietly terrifying and wildly impressive. What do you think about it? Well, let us know. Number 10. Titanoboa Robotic Snake. Some robots are built for utility. Others, they're built to haunt your dreams. The Titanoboa is a 50-foot mechanical snake born out of the EatArt Foundation in Vancouver, and it's just as massive and intimidating as it sounds. Created by a team of over 30 engineers, artists, and tech enthusiasts, this cold-blooded beast isn't just a display piece, it's a warning shot from the future. Modeled after the prehistoric Titanoboa that slithered across Earth 60 million years ago, this battery-powered monster is made from welded aluminum vertebrae and powered by 60 hydraulic cylinders acting as muscles. 7 microcontrollers work in sync like a digital brain, making its serpentine slither eerily lifelike. It was designed to get people talking about climate change, but honestly, it mostly just leaves jaws on the floor. Forget snakes on a plane, this one's on land, wired to the teeth, and creeping its way through the tech world with a message: extinction isn't always the end, it might just be version 2.0. Alright guys, now let's talk about number 9, bionic ants. They move with the same eerie precision you see in a real ant colony, only now it's powered by algorithms instead of instincts. Festo's bionic ants aren't just mimicking the anatomy of their tiny counterparts, they're replicating the cooperation too. Each robotic ant is autonomous but operates as part of a swarm, communicating with its teammates via wireless signals and responding in real time to shared goals. If one bot adjusts its path, the others do too, like some kind of mechanical hive mind. But they're not just crawling around for fun. These ants are proof of concept for future factory automation, where machines coordinate without human input. Each ant carries out tasks that support a collective operation, and the beauty is in how little supervision they need. It's efficient, it's a little unnerving, and it might be the future of industry. They don't buzz, beep, or whir. They work quietly, relentlessly, 1,000 steps at a time together, like they've done this forever. But as they say, Mama Nature is always ahead of humans. Number 8. MKI Morphing Bot. At first glance, it looks like a sci-fi villain in standby mode. But once this machine starts moving, you're staring straight into the future. The MKI isn't your average walking robot. It's a 6-legged shapeshifter that rolls into a ball like it's prepping for battle. Created by engineer Kari Halvorsen, this crab-like robot can walk with eerie grace or transform into a rolling sphere for high-speed travel. And no, it's not built for your living room floor. While it's still in development, the long-term possibilities are something else. It could navigate disaster zones, patrol dangerous areas, or just completely change how we think of animal-inspired robots. Halverson keeps refining the design with new features in every iteration, making this bot one of the most unpredictable creatures in the lineup. It doesn't just mimic nature, it challenges it. Watching it in motion, you don't wonder if robots will take over. You just start asking when. Number 7. Robot Salamander. This one doesn't just look like a salamander, it moves like one too. And that's the freaky part. Developed by researchers at EPFL, this creature walks, swims, and slithers across land and water like it's alive. But there's no beating heart here, just 64 motorized joints synced to mimic the animal's skeletal movements down to its spine and limbs. It's not a copy, it's a mechanical resurrection. The bot's low center of gravity and seamless transition between land and water make it ideal for search and rescue missions where traditional bots flail. But the deeper goal, reverse engineering the past. These engineers aren't just building a robot, they're trying to reconstruct how ancient tetrapods first dragged themselves out of the water. The potential is massive. Whether it's rescuing flood victims or modeling extinct species in motion, this robot blurs the line between paleontology and futurism. It doesn't bark orders. It just glides, climbs, and swims through the forgotten mechanics of evolution, rewriting everything we thought machines couldn't do. Number 6. Bionic Kangaroo. Well, it's real. Only Festo would look at a kangaroo and say, yeah, let's rebuild that with air pressure and steel. The Bionic Kangaroo is a bounce-powered, energy-recycling robot that mimics one of the animal kingdom's weirdest mechanics, momentum-based hopping. Those back legs aren't just for dramatic effect, they were engineered to store energy mid-jump and reuse it on the rebound, just like a real kangaroo. That means this robot doesn't just move fast, it moves efficiently. Each leap is calculated, each landing harnesses force, and it all feeds into a renewable loop of mechanical motion. Pneumatics and electric drive tech work hand in hand, pushing this little jumper into territory no robot has dared bounce before. But the kicker? It's not just built for science fairs. Festo's real mission is automation, factories, logistics, energy systems. This thing isn't your mascot, it's a test subject for what happens when machines stop wasting power and start recycling every bit of energy they spend. You're looking at the future of efficiency, with a pouch full of innovation. Just imagine a UFC fighter against this metal beast. Number 5. Purdue SIP's Hummingbird Robot. If you think this tiny flyer is just a fancy drone, think again. Purdue University has engineered something eerily close to nature, a hummingbird-inspired robot so precise it can flutter through rubble and tight spaces with the grace of the real thing. It's not just mimicking bird flight for show. This thing learns how to fly through simulations, picking up techniques hummingbirds use daily, like sharp pivots, escape dives, and hovering. No GPS? No problem. It maps the world through touch, reading electric currents to guide itself in complete darkness. Add in machine learning and flexible, flapping wings, and you've got a creature that's part insect, part bird, and all brain. Rescue missions in disaster zones, military surveillance, or just navigating the places we can't reach, this robot is built for it all. What makes it especially wild is that it doesn't just follow commands, it adapts. It's not a pet. It's a prototype for survival, wrapped in wings and backed by pure innovation. Number 4. Robot Dragonfly. Well, at first look, it's just a toy. A delicate flutter in the air, all wings and lightness. But don't be fooled. We just say that. Festo's Bionicopter is one of the most complex flying machines ever built. It mimics the dragonfly not just in shape but in flight style, hovering, gliding, and darting in all directions without relying on rotors or turbines. 4 wings, controlled individually, allow it to fly forward, backward, side to side, or simply stay perfectly still. Inside this fragile frame is a miniature data system that controls everything from balance to navigation, reacting in real time to turbulence, wind shifts, and obstacles. And unlike traditional drones, there's no brute force here, just elegant biological mechanics wrapped in carbon fiber. This isn't just flight, it's precision ballet in the sky. With its small size and real-time communication systems, it's the perfect spy, scout, or tool for delicate operations. Watching it move feels wrong somehow. Too real, too organic, like nature evolved in a lab, and didn't bother asking for permission. Number 3. Caltech SITS Batbot. Bats have always been the rebels of the animal kingdom, creepy, misunderstood, and built like nature's fighter jets. So, of course, Caltech decided to recreate one, and they nailed it. This robotic marvel, called Batboy, weighs just under 100 grams and has a wingspan that mirrors a real bat. But here's the kicker. It can flex, twist, and bend its wings just like the real thing, down to the elbows, shoulders, and even the wrists. That level of anatomical accuracy isn't just for show. It makes this robot one of the most energy-efficient flying machines ever designed. Traditional drones, no chance. Batboy can glide, maneuver through obstacles, and do it all without drawing much power. In environments where a spinning blade might cause chaos, like crowded urban zones or indoor rescues, this soft flapping tech is a game changer. It's not just inspired by nature, it's built to challenge it. If bats had built drones instead of living in caves, this is what they'd have sent into battle. Number 2. The Shanghai Robotic Shark. Forget aquarium props. This beast swims like the real deal, and that's the entire point. Built by China's Aerospace Science and Industry Corp., the Shanghai Robotic Shark looks like it swam straight out of a James Cameron fever dream. At nearly 5 meters long and moving at over 40 meters a minute, it doesn't float. It stalks, complete with gills, a moving jaw, and a battery-powered propulsion system. This robotic predator glides through water with the same elegance and menace as a real shark. But don't expect it to be just for entertainment. This thing is already doing hydrological surveys, snapping underwater photos, and getting prepped for environmental inspections in ways divers never could. It's part science, part spectacle, and part something no one's quite sure how to categorize yet. There's even talk of using similar tech to build robotic versions of extinct sea creatures. So yeah, maybe skip that next dip in the pool. You never know what kind of prototype might be swimming beneath the surface. Number 1. Scorpion Hexapod. If nightmare fuel could walk, it would probably look like this. Students from Ghent University took one of nature's most menacing creatures, the scorpion, and turned it into a mechatronic marvel. The result? A 3D printed robotic scorpion that not only looks the part but acts the part. With 6 articulated legs, fluid movement, and a tail that can actually strike, this is not just a project, it's a statement. The tail leaves red marks when it stabs, which is exactly as unsettling as it sounds. The team designed it for research and educational purposes, but there's no denying the theatrical horror built into every joint. The claws, the sting, the way it stalks forward like it knows you're watching, all intentional. It showcases how digital design and robotics can bring wildly complex animals to life in terrifyingly realistic ways. This isn't a novelty. It's a full-on proof of concept for what's possible when you give a group of bright minds full access to modern fabrication tools and zero fear of nightmares. If you've enjoyed this video, be sure to like, share, and subscribe for more content like this. Thanks for tuning in, and we'll see you pretty soon.